Okay, guys, this is a video that I want to say one time about the election. And it's not political, it's purely real estate. And I also kind of want to point out what I saw in the past, what I'm thinking's happening now, and the wackiness that I don't know, maybe people haven't been in business for 5 years, but I go back to when I had a listing of my friend Brett Hollywood, and we did a lot of work to the house, got it ready, got it on the market, and then it sat. And we were perplexed. And I actually have a friend, colleague named Michael Roselle, and he actually had a listing around the corner that was a little nicer, I'll admit, bigger, same thing, and his wasn't selling either. So we were like putting our heads together and thinking, what's going on here? Um, you know, and as soon it was a midterm election in 2018, and as soon as that was over with, everything moved, and it moved by Christmas time and that kind of stuff. So that is also I haven't heard anybody talk about, and it was so clear to us on the graphs and the charts that I can just go back and remember that chart, because the housing market completely went flat. The sales went flat for about 2 months prior to the midterm election in 2018. Now, do you remember what's going on in 2020? Like, we've had elections, but go back and look at the actual charts. And one of the chart I saw today was related to people canceling new build contracts, right? Cancellations of new builds. And what do you know? The cancellations are up with the cycle of the election. And then the other big spike was right in when the pandemic hit. So go back and look at election cycles as well. And I don't see a whole lot of real estate agents living long enough in their first 3 years to where they kind of wash out, like I probably would have if I hadn't been with Atlas. So I have to admit, these are maybe things that I'm seeing because I've been in the business for 5 years. I'm buying my own houses. I've just under 100 deals in the last probably 2 or 3 years. But this also goes back to 2018 when I was struggling. And so, I'm actually going to bring on some people that are going to do some analysis on this, and will prove whether I'm right or wrong. But I have to contemporaneously, in September, talk about this so that we can prove me wrong, but also prove me wrong. Tell me what your thoughts are. And if you've been in real estate long enough, that would be a tidbit for me, is like, we are day to day helping our clients, but going and stepping back in looking at what worked and what didn't. I see correlation with the election right now like crazy. And I think we're all in our own kind of game plan to where we got to step back, and I'm seeing the numbers are clear. So, it's even clear in the people canceling contracts on new builds this election cycle. So that's going to be my new gauge too. You kind of see what's a new gauge that you can get pre and post pandemic. And that's a little bit of normalcy, right? It's normal that people don't want to buy and sell houses when there's an election coming up. But what is the implications for that? If you're a buyer, I would get my ducks in a row. And if I want to sell, I would wait till right after the election. Right? And we'll see what happens. I'm not selling, and I don't have time to buy right now, but I do believe it's the best time to buy because of all these variables. And if you want to worry about interest rates, go back and look at history, look at the numbers there. They're still lower than they were probably 5 years ago in those kind of rates. So just, really look at the numbers. Don't look at people's opinion. You can take their opinion, but where are they getting their numbers from? And, it's all out there too. This is a track thing. You can track the sales in a county and those kind of things. So I've seen the graph. I've seen the graph in 2018 where the housing sales went flat. And so it sparks my kind of brain to think, oh, I wonder if there's going to be correlations by the elections, So this is a election update and non-political. Love you guys.